Hello, beautiful people. I am Debbie Dorothy Ajom, and this is Life Law Podcast. Obviously, we're back on track. Yes, you heard the song, and I have a story for you guys written by yours truly. Thank you guys so much for always joining me here every 2 weeks to listen to thought-provoking, beautiful, and amazing stories about every facet of life. In this episode, I will be reading out another story from the short story collection titled The Storm Before the Storm. Do not forget that this is a work of fiction. Names, characters, incidents, places are product of my imagination and are used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, business establishments, or events is entirely coincidental. For today's episode, the title of our story is Lost Forever. Whatever you do in this life, make sure you marry right. It's too late for me now, but I hope you learn from my mistake. Tefa, are you there? I shake my head as I disperse the memories fighting to draw me in and bring myself back to the room. Yes, I'm here, I say, and cradle my phone tighter. I said, do you remember my UBA ATM pin? I sigh. I heard you the first time, Maxwell. Then why didn't you say something? He pauses. Or wait, have you forgotten too? I roll my eyes at him as though he can see me. Of course not. I just don't think it's right that you should be calling me for such a thing. Now it's his turn to sigh. Tefa, just tell me the pin. His voice drops a notch. Please. It's 1975. He let out a joyful sound, something between a sigh and a laugh, and thanks me. I knew I could always count on you. You should learn to count on your wife too, I retort. He hisses, but I know he harbors no animosity toward her. It's probably out of frustration. She doesn't pay attention to such details. I've told you this before. Lately, she acts like she doesn't even care about me anymore. That is my ex-boyfriend on the phone. He was once the love of my entire existence, and we were both convinced that we would get married. That was the plan. But the plan failed woefully. All thanks to my mother. My mother falls in the category of those mothers-in-law that ladies pray die before they marry their sons. She always wore a permanent caul like jewelry on her face. But whenever Maxwell was around, it became double. She didn't like him, and she made it clear to me in words and to him in actions. One day, she said to me, my daughter cannot marry Otiotiv. After I came back to the house, I had walked Maxwell to our gate some minutes before. I winced at her words. Maxwell was not thief, but that didn't make him less of a person. Besides, I didn't tell her Maxwell was my boyfriend, but as a mother, she could see the chemistry between us. She knew we were more than friends, and she did not like it. Mama, must I marry a thief man? I grumbled. She never liked any of my friends, and I hated it that she disliked Maxwell even more. She glared at me, and my eyes found my feet immediately. Yes, it's a must. Then she went ahead, for the umpteenth time, to give me tales of non-thief people and how they led their lives. Igbo people were stingy and maltreated their wives even after death. Yoruba people did eye service and were more loyal to their families than their wives. Hausa people were perpetual philanderers and polygamists. Igala people were evil and full of wickedness, and many more. In the end, only thief people were saints. Maxwell is still on the line. I don't know why, Tifa, but with each passing day, I regret marrying my wife. I laugh bitterly. I regret marrying my husband too. But what can we do? It's too late to change anything. You shouldn't say things like this, Maxwell. But you know it's the truth. You're the only one I've ever loved. My breath hitches in my chest. It's been a decade since we parted ways, but whenever Maxwell mentions his undying love for me on such occasions of hunting for his ATM pin, my heart skips a beat like I'm still a teenager whose crush has finally admitted to having a crush on too. A whole 34-year-old woman like me. After our first degree, Maxwell and I planned to get married after the mandatory 1-year service to the nation. By this time, Mama was no longer subtle about her disapproval of our relationship. She banned Maxwell from coming to our house. Still, our love bloomed as we stubbornly held on, defying her wishes. It didn't matter that Maxwell's family loved and accepted me for their son. It didn't matter that Maxwell came from old money and I would not lack. They were not thieves, and this made their sin unforgivable. The day Mama succeeded in uprooting, like a stubborn weed in a garden of flowers, Maxwell from my life, she uprooted my happiness too. And she knew, but she didn't care. He came to seek her permission to officially come with his family for my hand in marriage. Baba had died when I was 13 years old. Till today, I shudder at the thought of how it would have turned out if Maxwell had actually come with his parents and kinsmen. Mama bathed Maxwell from head to toe in dirty laundry water, right in the center of our parlor where he had been on his knees, politely and respectfully relaying his feelings and intentions for her beloved daughter. Mama had been listening to Maxwell speak absent-mindedly, her eyes lost in the space above his head, when all of a sudden, she excused herself. The disaster followed her back into the room. Even when Maxwell scuffled outside, shame and tears soaking up his wet clothes, amidst her screams of insult and rebuffs, Mama followed him and splashed the rest of the water on his Mercedes. The spectacle did not die in the eyes and memories of the witnesses for a long time. The news spread like a river. It was an embarrassment to Maxwell's rich family's name, but he accepted that he could never be accepted by Mama, so he left her daughter alone. I could do nothing but allow myself be stuffed into a small car that reeked of garlic, stale sweat, and engine oil, along with tubers of yam, different types of mangoes, oranges, tomatoes, peppers, and locust beans from Makodi to Zaria for my mother's sister. For weeks on end, all I did was cry. Eventually, my dam dried up. I stayed with Auntie till I and Mama was convinced that I was over Maxwell. Still, she refused to let me go back to Makodi, fearing a reunion between me and Maxwell was imminent. I got a job in Zaria. It was here I met my husband. No, he's not a thief man. How's your baby girl, Tifa? I subconsciously hear Maxwell say over the phone. Betty, right? Yes, Betty, I say. She's doing fine, having her siesta at the moment. Maxwell's voice takes on a dreamy tone when he speaks again. You know I always wonder what our child would have looked like. When I don't say anything, he continues. I would have preferred a girl first. There may be a boy later on, if God gave us. But our daughter would have had your pointed nose and big brown eyes. Maybe she would have had my height since you're like the shortest woman on this planet. His last words make me choke as I try to laugh while silent sobs rack through my chest. Calling me the shortest woman on earth was one of our favorite jokes since Maxwell is over 6 foot tall. It hurts that Maxwell willingly wants a daughter. My husband and his family are threatening to throw me out if I don't give them a son. I have had 4 miscarriages since Betty's birth 5 years later. Soon, my marriage will fall apart. Maxwell doesn't know any of this. Now I wish even more that I'd fought harder for our love. I swallow hard before interrupting Maxwell's laugh, one that has a hint of regret and sadness beneath. Still no hope? None whatsoever, whispers Maxwell. Since my ex-boyfriend and I reconnected, his wife has not been able to give him a child in the last 5 years, and even before then. At first, it was awkward between us. There was so much to say, so much to apologize for. But we're both married by then, and we left many things unsaid. It was for the best. Once in a very long period, he would call to ask me for his ATM PIN. He never changed it, and I never forgot it. Maxwell sniffles, and I can tell he's trying to suppress his emotions. I'm sure we would have had children, Tifa, if we had gotten married. I inhale sharply as I try to hold back the fresh sobs from erupting. Maxwell is right. We would have had a child. Because I was pregnant when Mama kicked him out of our house and out of my life. It was Auntie who helped me get an abortion. I never told Maxwell. I was going to do so after his visit that day. I did not envision things turning out like that. My guilt eats deeper into my soul with every breath I take. I unconsciously helped Mama sabotage Maxwell's life. I'll never forgive myself. It would break his heart even more if I revealed this secret to him. No, some things are better left unsaid. It is too late, Maxwell. I let out a shaky breath. Please don't call me again. As I clicked the red icon on my phone, I finally let my dam of tears that was once dry overflow. Thank you so much for listening. You have come to the end of episode 10 of The Storm Before the Storm. If you love the story, do let us know in the comment section. What would you do if you were Tifa? Would you tell Maxwell about the lost pregnancy and try to, make things work again by getting a divorce? Or would you let everything slide and go back to living your life? Let me know what you think. Do not forget to share this episode to family, friends, foes. Follow and subscribe because in 2 weeks' time, we are going to bless your ears with another banger. Yes. Don't forget to rate us. Give us 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcasts because guess what? We deserve it and you know it. If you would love to talk to me, my social media handles and email can be found in the show notes. Follow Lifelaw Podcast on Instagram and TikTok at Lifelaw_podcast. Kindly drop us a message on our socials for advert placements or collaboration. We would love to work with you. Once again, thank you so much for listening. We adore you all because without you, we would not be here. We love you so much and we're going to see you very soon. 2 weeks max. I'm Debbie Dorisi Ajom and this has been Lifelaw Podcast. Ciao. Mwah. Girl, I like you, but no go talk to you, be my everything. For so long now, me I don't need battle with these memories. So right now, I'm focused on my visions and my dreams. I got no time for love, cause I'm just 17.